It's no secret that I have been very fond of TrimUI since I first experienced them with the TrimUI Smart Pro way back in 2023. I then got a taste of the older at the time, but still excellent Smart. And then came the Brick. Well, came the rumors for the Brick. And it seemed like forever before the Brick arrived. And then we got the Brick Hammer, a metal version, which really took me by storm. And we did an unboxing of all the colors. And I have looked forward to today because we now have our first hands-on look and impressions of the TrimUI Brick Pro. So you never know where the Pro is going to end up at. It can end up in the funniest of places. All funny aside, we are going to take a look and explore it. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. But let's see what I think about the Pro and its enhancements. As always, we'll start with the box here, and it's a nice looking box. The Brick Pro on the front of it. Handheld game console. We do have the black and white on the front. They didn't use the DMG color, and personally, that's my favorite. Purpose built to spark your imagination. We've seen this on some non-trim products before in the past. Go check out our previous videos. But looking at the specs here, we do have 2X joysticks, a fast boot, a 3.95-inch IPS LCD, a WLAN Versus, stereo speaker, and Type-C. So no surprise there. I do wonder about the WLAN Versus. I guess that's alluding to some kind of online play. On the side here, we do have, our box is a little messed up there. We do have the DMG colorway. DMG is a colorway that I like quite a bit. Nothing on the bottom except the TrimUI Brick Pro Series. That's interesting. It says Pro Series. And then moving to the back, we do have a picture of the console with the markings on it. Again, 3.95-inch RGB lighting effect, stereo speaker, extra LR key ×2, included TrimUI Brick Pro game player, cable, user manual, extra LR key, and then game handheld console, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, just some more specs here, 5 volt, we got a Pro sticker. Discover more at trimui.com. So pretty nice packaging. Standard packaging is what we're used to seeing here. I don't think there's anything we haven't really seen in the past before, but let's get the box open and look inside, and we'll move the handheld out of the way here. And we do have an instruction manual. So this looks like a typical TrimUI Brick instruction manual. Pretty much standard stuff here. How to start net play with other people via LAN, ? Via LAN, ? That's interesting. LAN, not Wi-Fi, but LAN. Anyways, we do have it in both English and Mandarin, Chinese, so we'll get that out of the way. We have, of course, this is the thing you want to see on here, your quality control. So we do have our quality control inspection sticker here, TrimUI passed. Looks like this one is good as passed. Here's our extra backs. Now, I did ask if these will fit on the regular brick. They do not. It is different. So these are not interchangeable if you have the brick or brick hammer. These are different. We have a USB-C cord here, and then nothing else. That's pretty much it. So pretty much in the box, we have the standard stuff you would expect here. We do want to get the handheld out and take a look at it and kind of check everything out. So as we box it here and take a first look, my first unfiltered impressions here. Get this box out of the way, and yes, it feels really good. The plastic feels really nice. It feels like the brick immediately and holding it, only bigger. We have this nice design language here with their logo on the back. Then we have this nice metal plate back here. I think the contrast between the black and the DMG gray here is a really nice look. We do see TrimUI Brick. It just says Brick, but there is a Pro logo down here. Again, some people had this engraved on the original TrimUI Brick before the Brick Hammer. I don't know if these are interchangeable. I do see some screws here, so Maybe some interchangeable here if you want to do some customization, but this feels a lot and looks like, no surprise there, a bigger brick like we were expecting. The weight of it is also really nice. Even though we have this bigger screen, the original brick is a 3.2-inch screen. This is a 3.95. So even with a bigger screen, it just feels really nice. It's not overly heavy. It is nice. You can tell there's no wobble there. Nothing is moving around as I shake it. It just feels really good to hold. The plastic and material feels really nice and premium. And this is what you're paying for, guys. This is in the leagues of Ambernick, if not beyond Ambernick. In my opinion, maybe beyond Ambernick. This is a well-designed product. It uses quality materials, and you can just tell from the beginning and holding it how it feels. It is plastic, of course. Nice little touches here, like the little Pro logo, the vent here, the different offset color button right there makes it really nice. It's just things like that. The metal plate back here. And again, these unique sort of shoulder buttons, which let's go ahead and try those out. Yeah, those feel pretty good. I gotta say that the shoulder buttons are nice. They're really nice there. You can see the R1 and the R2, and it's got that USB-C port once again in the middle of it. And these feel nice and they're replaceable. Now, again, these are not going to work with the previous ones, probably because the physical size of this is bigger, but man, look at that. Now, when the original TrimUI brick came out, we reviewed it, there was a little problem with these being kind of loose. They're not loose. This is not loose like that problem. It feels like they fit really good. Let's kind of see if it's easy to take one off. And it is not too easy, but it does come off. You can see here. So that was not too bad as I drop it here. That was not too bad to take off. This little plastic. I'm sure we'll see some customizations. We might see some clear ones, but as you can see there, with it off, what it looks like below, if you didn't see the original brick hammer or TrimUI brick, you might not know, but that's just a see-through little tab there that you can put, and there's some other options to have it raised or other situations you may want to do with that, but it goes right back on here, pretty simple. As I put it back on, we'll see how hard is it. Yep, right back on. I like those. Just a little bit raised right there, but again, you have other options to change around. Boy, that feels really good though. Really good. Along the top here, we have that famous little light bar. No ports on the top. On this side, we have this nice offset color power button. We do have a volume rocker right there, or the switch. That's the function switch, actually. So this is a function switch, which you can assign in software to do different things. It feels a little tight. It's not loud though. On this side over here, we do have our volume rocker and our power button. Again, just nice little design touches. It feels here, the way it feels, the plastic and everything. On the bottom, we have our SD card slot. We do have a headphone jack, USB-C port. So we do have all the things we found on that. We have our TrimUI buttons here. Oh, and these are better. I think they've improved these. I really do think they'll improve these. I'm going to have to get out the brick hammer and kind of see how these feel against it. But they feel really nice. Let's do some button testing. Oh, the buttons look really nice. Look at that color there. They are really nice. Nice material there on the buttons. Nice and clear. You can see them. They have a good travel distance. They're not too tall. Everything is pretty good. Now, the sticks, it would be nice if they were a little more recessed, maybe. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Would you prefer them to be recessed? But the buttons feel really good. Looking at the sticks here, and oh, the sticks feel nice. Yes, really nice sticks. This is the first TrimUI vertical with sticks. And these sticks, I've got to say, yes, I'm pretty sure these are better than on the Pro and Pro S. I'm sorry, the Pro S, S Pro. TrimUI Smart S. Gosh, these names. But yeah, those feel really nice. They have good distance to them. They move around really well. Let's see if they come off. Are they removable or not? They are removable. So yeah, removable tops. I am in love with that. I think that's a great decision to have the removable tops. So we have to see here if it's going to work with the other ones that we have here. So let me just get out my trusty bag here of, look at all the different kind of tops I have. I'm collecting so many of these, so I have such a quite array. But let's just kind of see right here, one of these other tops. We'll try this gray one. That might look good on it. Now, these are the ones that are generally going to work on all the other handhelds. And look at that. Look at that. Yep, that went right on there. So it fits. It works. No problemo. Actually, I may like that better than the one that's on it. I don't know about the color scheme. Black looks good. That looks good too. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's take a look at this D-pad. Oh, yes. Yes, great D-pad. Typical D-pad we've seen from TrimUI before. Oh, I love their D-pads. This is really good. It's a little bit bigger size. It feels good. Then we have our 2 light buttons here. And then this beautiful new 4-inch, practically 4-inch, 3.9-inch screen. I'm a screen guy, and I hope the screen here is what I'm expecting. We do have speakers on each side, front facing. This is nice, really, really nice. So let's get the brick hammer out in the next section, and we're just going to take a look at 2 of those side by side and kind of compare them, and we'll be right back. Sorry to interrupt the video, guys, but I want to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, AliExpress, and something that I think you guys know that I've loved. For a while now, I've become obsessed with the clear TPU shells you can get for all kinds of handhelds. I've shown this in a previous video for things like my Conquer Pocket Fit or the Main Pocket Max, which gives it an ergonomic grip with a see-through shell that fits on nice and feels great. Well, guys, guess what? We now have a new one that you can order at AliExpress using my special codes and save money. The RG Rotate. That's right. I have loved the RG Rotate, as you guys know, and now it has its own TPU shell that fits on snug, it fits on secure, and does not interfere with the rotation. You can still rotate it easily. It adds a little bit more bulk, but on this metal shell, it will preserve the metal shell, giving it nice so you can do things like add stickers beneath it or whatever fun things. Also, as long as you have your lanyard on there, it's going to add protection to it. And best of all, for those pocket pushes that accidentally turned it on, this adds a little bit of a bump there to keep that from accidentally turning on in your pocket. It is also at a pretty reasonable price. Hit the link below to check this out. Again, we want to thank AliExpress for sponsoring us as always. But look at this, how beautiful this is. It has elevated the RG Rotate even another level that I already love. If you guys want one of these, check it out. I highly recommend it. Back to the show. All right, we're back, and I've got the brick hammer here so you can see side by side the difference in here. And I would say that the D-pad is just slightly bigger. The buttons look about the same size, but you can see it has pretty much the same design language. If you look at them here side by side, they pretty much carry that same design language. So if you had any sort of experience with the brick or brick hammer, I think you're going to be pretty impressed here. It has got a very similar button layout and everything, just now with these new sticks that they've added. The back side of it, again, is very similar. You can see it's pretty much the same. I do like on the brick hammer, this little shiny top part they put up here, and then they put on the TrimUI brick here, they just printed it in the middle. So I don't know, maybe on the TrimUI Brick Hammer Pro U, they'll have something more similar to distinguish it, but you can see here, side by side, just the same design language that we were used to. It looks really nice side by side, and you can kind of get an idea of the size here. Everyone loves the brick and brick hammer for the portability, the size, the pocketability, and this is a little bit bigger, but I would argue it's still going to be enough pocketable to put in there. Again, it's like more the same, a refinement. We made it bigger, we added sticks, and that's pretty much it. Now, keep in mind, both of these are running the same processor, so they're sharing the same processor, the same custom firmwares, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty nice that we have that here. We can see that it's pretty much laid out on the bottom the same way. The layout is just pretty much identical between the two. You can even see the design language with the colors here. We just have a little bit difference because this is all metal and this is plastic with some metal on it. Going with the DMG though, if you want to see what it looks like next to the big boy, the Ambernick, here's what it looks like side by side with Ambernick's 477V, just to give you an idea on the size. And then if we put all 3 of them and line them up, we can kind of see here what it looks like size-wise with the 3 of these. So we have a variety of handhelds here, some vertical handhelds that you can kind of see in size differences running the gambit of it if you want to know how everything kind of stacks up in size-wise. But let's get the thing loaded up and kind of just start playing around with the handheld and kind of test out some games and everything. Now, nothing to be surprised here. I'm not expecting any surprises. This is the all-winner A133P. If you wanted a vertical that had the 133P with sticks, Pal Kitty had already produced one, the V20, even in this colorway, and it's running at about $50 right now. This is running about $70, so you're going to get a bigger screen, but you're also going to get way better quality. Not that the Pal Kitty quality is bad, but this one has just got that improved quality that feels great, feels nice in the hands, and the sticks are good. I don't feel like, for me, the sticks are going to be in the way. Let me see here. If I'm using the D-pad and the buttons, I feel like the sticks are good. Some people like them lined up below. Some people like them inset here. I kind of like the inset that we have here. I just think it feels really great. But we'll get this thing fired up and kind of take a look at the software and everything and kind of go from there. We'll be right back. So as we power it on here, there's a few things to kind of talk about here. The all-winner A133P is pretty well known to perform at a level that is somewhat a little above the Rockchip 3326 and a little below the 3566. And one of the concerns about the the all-winner A133P is the heating element. And I've got to say that much like the version on the regular brick and brick hammer, I did experience some of that heating. There are also a few quirks with the charging that comes with a unit like this. I did experience some of the similar charging quirks. Overpowered charging blocks may not do it as well as a basic low-volt old-school charger. But for the most part, it is a proficient CPU that can do quite a few things pretty impressively, and there's quite a few custom firmwares. Now, for this initial impressions video, I'm using NextUI because I think that's the best current firmware for it, but there are plenty of others out there to try, including the CrossMix OS and the original TrimUI that it has here. But one of the things that's really impressive about this handheld is the screen. And that's what I mostly want to focus on in this initial impressions, because the handheld's build quality is what you'd expect. The internals are pretty much exactly what you got with the original brick and brick hammer. It's just now you have sticks and a bigger screen. And this screen is simply gorgeous. It just really is gorgeous. As I play some Game Boy Advance here, it is bright and clear and crisp in a way that is really what I was hoping. The original original TrimUI brick was very impressive for having such a high quality screen. Now, while the other TrimUI products have typically had pretty elegant looking screens, the brick in particular has been the one that has really impressed me. And you can see here that this has a very vibrant, crisp looking screen that is fluid and clear. And it's even more impressive than its younger, smaller sibling, the original brick. I really have found this screen to be very, very impressive. You can see here, it just looks fantastic and plays very clearly. The other thing that I'm very impressed with here is the sound. So you can see here, these front-firing speakers sound really good. Now, some people have mentioned using the sticks, and you can use the sticks for, Game Boy Advance, that it may cover the speaker. And I found that kind of does happen, actually. And I think it has to do just with the placement of the speakers. They did try to offset it here to keep that from being a big problem, but it is a potential issue if you're concerned about covering it. If you hold it this way, you may have that problem, or if you hold it like this, it may not be quite as big of a problem. So really going to come down to how you hold it. Overall, I have to say that my first impressions of this are completely what I had hoped for. It is a bigger version with a screen that is probably maybe even a little more impressive than the original screen, that is running all the great softwares that we're used to and has pretty much all of the same quirks and issues that we know from before. The benefit of this coming out now is that we have a lot of data on the brick hammer and the regular brick to sort of know where we are and what this is going to be capable of. And it's just a really beautiful sight to see playing this handheld in a pocketability way, taking it with you in places that may show up you're not expecting. I have to say, while there's not really any surprises here, I am very satisfied with this. The initial price was a bit of a shock, but these are running for about $70 on AliExpress. Use my coupons, and you can probably get it for a little bit under that. And I imagine the price, like most things, will drop over time as this is out in the world. So overall, I'm very impressed with this. I think that this is a beautiful handheld that really has lived up to the expectations. We have an awesome build quality that feels fantastic, materials that are high quality, a product that is high quality at a very reasonable price now that it's been released and we're past the post-launch price, with a beautiful screen. I can't tell you how much that screen is impressive. I'm a screen guy, and we have some other verticals coming out, some with even more power, including the U model that will have a much more powerful CPU coming out. So I'm looking forward to testing that one as well. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you think that this is too late, is it in time? Do you think it's good? I gotta say, guys, I really like it. Kind of wish they'd had some more fun colors, but this retro one, it's for me. Anyways, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.